there. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. It is Friday. It is January the 10th. It's Friday.
It is, yes.
And it's going to be very mild starting now. I don't know about you, Tom, but I walked outside and I knew the mild air was coming, but I still prepared myself completely. Parka, toque, everything. I'm sweating.
It's slippery. It is slippery out there, too. With the snow that we've had overnight on top of the ice that we got, then we got rain on the way. It could be a messy, messy drive.
And take a look at the radar. You can actually see the heavier bursts of snow coming through. I mean, we're not going to see incredible accumulations from this. We're looking at about 2 to 4 centimeters widespread throughout the GTA. But because we're seeing those heavy bursts, that could cause for poor visibility and very slippery road conditions and underfoot as well. I mean, the QEW this morning, mess.
Yeah, and it really is still, and that goes right through Kitchener-Waterloo. Orangeville are going to stay at the big goose egg at 0.
Now, we do have some wet weather on the way. We've got some rain in the forecast. It is going to develop through the overnight tonight, continue tomorrow, tapering off by tomorrow afternoon. And then we could see a rain-snow mix. There's a risk of freezing rain through some areas, not only this morning, but again for tomorrow. So it's just going to be gross out there.
And also, if you can get to your catch basins, I cleared one of mine yesterday, 3 to 4 inches of ice on the catch basin on the side of the road. So we're going to need those to drain the water. So if you have a pick or something to get at it, you might want to try to do that today.
Well, a lot of areas have seen a ton of snow, so this rain is not going to help, that's for sure. This is in through Sauble Beach, Ontario. Look at how high the snowbanks are. You throw 15 or even 5 to 15 millimeters of rain on top of that, it is just going to be an absolute mess because Sauble Beach is in line for the rain. It's not only the lower Great Lakes that are going to be seeing this rain, it's stretching all the way up to, say, Sault Ste. Marie. That's kind of the freezing line. We'll get into your long-range details and your weekend forecast in just a moment, but first, here's Tom. 5 degrees tomorrow. There's our balmy warm-up. We're going to see rain, however. 0 for Sunday with lots of sunshine. That's going to be a good day. And then Monday, we return to 5 degrees. We don't return to minus temperatures until Tuesday. That's when we get closer to our seasonal average.
This weather.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us. It's Friday. It is the 10th of January. And Tom, sometimes I like to share what people put on my Facebook page.
Yes.
Somebody said, in Saskatchewan, it's minus 50. Minus 30 in Toronto, and people are losing their minds. It's different in Saskatchewan than it is in Toronto. They don't have the subways we have. They don't have the streetcars. They don't have the old buildings and the pipelines and the, well, you know.
They're a different breed, too. I mean, Westerners are a different breed than we are.
Are you saying we're babies?
We are. We're softer, and, yeah, we're not as tough.
We're more fragile.
Yeah, we're not as tough, and we're not used to minus 30. So when it gets to that point, we suffer.
It's true. And it's not going to get to minus 30 today. We have got a warm-up on the way that is going to make many people happy, but it is going to be short-lived. By the middle of next week, we're going to return to the minuses.
And we're looking at 0 in Orangeville.
We do have rain on the way, though, for the weekend, and that could create an absolute mess for areas in and around southern Ontario because you have, you know, up north where they have 50-plus centimeters of snow, you throw in 25 millimeters of rain.
That's right.
Storm drains.
Well, it could cause some localized flooding, plus, you know, a little bit of melting going on. It's going to add to that water, so it could be a treacherous mess out there.
That's not as your house? No, thanks. That's in Port Elgin. Instead of driving, they're just snowmobiling everywhere. They decided, forget it. I'm just taking the snowmobile to work. Good plan. Look at the stop sign. You can barely see it. Rain is on the way. We'll talk more about that in your long range. We'll get to your weekend forecast as well. But first, Tom, tell us about some of those delays. It's really warm. I know, I love how I'm saying 5 degrees is warm, like I'm acting like it's summer. Well, 5 degrees is our daytime high for tomorrow, but it's going to be very wet. We've got rain moving in through the overnight tonight, continuing throughout the day tomorrow, tapering off, and then Sunday we return to sunshine, but we also return to cooler temperatures. I wouldn't say it's actually a cold front, because by Monday we bump right back up to 5 degrees. Highs are rebounding. All that's missing is the sun. Unusual, but not unheard of. We'll tell you what these are and how they're formed. But first, say goodbye to at least some of this. This week's Arctic winds left massive amounts of snow around Lake Huron, Georgian Bay. Within the next 20 minutes, I'll tell you how the arrival of mild air is expected to play out. Anyone who went in search of the sun this week didn't find it in Florida. First, temperatures dipped to freezing, and then the rain arrived. Police in Fort Pierce on the Atlantic side say water there rose so quickly, most drivers didn't have a chance. Tow operators say they've had more business than they can handle. Here's an interesting sight, and many of us are asking, what is that? The short story version? The ice in Lake Michigan is breaking up. These ice spheres aren't unheard of. What is unusual this year is their size. This is how it works. The ice breaks up and the larger pieces get sculpted into spheres by bouncing around in the water. After that, layer upon layer of ice builds up as they get tossed around. And if conditions are right, like they have been with this week's Arctic temperatures, they can grow to as much as 20 kilograms. Wow, who knew? All right, we'll take a look at your weekend forecast in just a few moments, but first, here's Tom with traffic. Good morning. Thanks for joining us on this Friday. It is January the 10th, and the big thing here, Tom, it's Friday, and that means Kevin is somewhere in Ontario.
Exactly. Friday, very important. Lots of snow, lots of slippery conditions out there.
Kevin Yard joins us in Kitchener this morning. He's at Chicopee Ski Resort, and Kevin, I noticed that you have your jeans on this morning. That better not mean you're not skiing. All right, thanks, Kevin. And you're going to want to stay tuned for Kevin skiing or snowboarding, because I think both are going to be quite humorous, because I don't think Kevin does either. All right, we're looking at the snow throughout southern Ontario. Now, the snow is going to taper off, and then temperatures warming up with that push of southwesterly air, and we are going to see quite a bit of rain moving into our area, 5 to 15 millimeters. Flooding is going to be an issue. Conservation authorities are already sending out statements talking about storm drains and rivers and streams. This could certainly be crazy over the weekend. I was thinking of a better word, but I couldn't think of it. It's going to be a mess, literally, on roads and underfoot on sidewalks. I'm just going to turn things over to you, Tom, because apparently my brain and my mouth are not coordinating today.
I cleaned off my drain yesterday, a couple of drains, and there was about 3 to 4 inches of...
Right, well, the regional conservation authorities are issuing statements because of flooding because of tomorrow. Look at that, 5 degrees and rain, 15 to 25 millimeters on the way. Sunday, we cool back down again. We're back to the freezing mark, but we're going to be seeing some sunshine, and then we roller coaster right back up again on Monday to a high of 5 degrees.
This trip.
Hi there, thanks for joining us. We're talking about the snow and the potential for freezing rain and the potential for flooding over the weekend. Here's a look at the radar, and you can see we've got snow heavy at times through the Niagara-Hamilton region. This is all going to taper off, and we're going to be left with quite a bit of cloud cover for this afternoon. Temperatures are warming up, and then we are going to see some rain. Here's a look at the amounts. We're looking at 5 to 15 millimeters throughout much of the GTA. This could be a big issue for flooding, very slippery road conditions, a lot of slush and melting snow. Talk about your long range coming up in just a few moments, but first we're going to join Kevin Yard. He's at Chicopee Ski Resort in Kitchener. And Kevin, you're going to be doing all sorts of exciting things today. Skiing, boarding, you're going to hang out one of the grooming machines. I don't know, I'm a little envious today. We're going to start things off by talking about the cold, and then we're going to move to the warmth, and then we're going to move back to the cold. So stay with us through all of that. We'll start things off by taking a look at one of the pictures that I found on our website. In Ontario this week, if you have had enough of the cold and snow, please raise your hands. I love the mittens. It's awesome. Oh, the whole newsroom is raising their arms right now. Not only one hand, but two. Okay, the January thaw is on. So say goodbye to the cold. Say hello to the warmth. Milder temperatures, we're looking at above 5 degrees for many areas throughout southern Ontario, throughout the GTA. So keep that in mind. Storm drains, if you can find them throughout the ice, clear them. And just be cautious. If you've got some traveling to do this weekend, roads are going to be very slippery. There's going to be a lot of slush with the melting snow. So keep that in mind. Looking at the types of precipitation, it is going to be all rain anywhere. Mind, roads are going to be very, very slick. Some areas through parts of Quebec are already in a freezing rain warning. Rainfall amounts, like I said, widespread. We're looking at 5 to 15 millimeters up and through cottage country, 15 to 25. Toronto's kind of right on the cusp of this. So again, things are going to be very slippery and very slushy with the January thaw. Right, back to cold temperatures. Time now for your top 5, the most consecutive days below 0 degrees. All right, I'm going to turn things over to Tom Reynolds right now. He has an update on your commute. Hi there, good morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Emily Vukovic. We've been talking about the snow this morning, and we've been talking about the January thaw. 2 really big stories coming up this weekend. The snow right now is tracking its way east, Barrie kind of into a heavier bullet of it right now. Widespread amounts, 2 to 4 centimeters, but just enough to make the roads really slick. And we'll be checking in with Tom Reynolds in just a few minutes to talk about it. Now, we have got temperatures rising above the freezing mark. We're talking 5 degrees. So you take 5 to 15 millimeters of rain and you throw it on top of, say, 50 centimeters of snow. snow, you're going to have issues when it comes to flooding. Storm drains are going to be backed up with ice. It's not going to be a good situation. So this weekend, rivers and streams, stay away from them. It's an absolute no-no. Ski hills, yeah, they're pretty good today, but over the weekend, they could be a little sloppy. Kevin joins us at Chicopee Resort in Kitchener. And Kevin, I understand you're going to be doing all sorts of winter activities today.
Lots going on out there. Good morning.
A little bit of snow, that's what's causing all of this traffic headache. Less than 2 centimeters through many areas, but just enough to make the roads slick, and they've been slick literally all week because of the cold temperatures and the melting and the snow and the ice. Here's a look at the radar, and you can see the snow is on its way out. It's moving off towards eastern Ontario, but we've seen some heavy bursts, and that's been an issue for visibility, and of course, as you just saw, very slippery road conditions. Good for skiing, though. Great for skiing.
Absolutely, and a lot of people are doing that this weekend, and just perfect conditions, really.
Kevin joins us at Chicopee Resort in Kitchener, and I don't know, Tom, Kevin's not a skier.
No, he's not a good skier.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
He's not a skier.
He can ski.
He can?
The problem is stopping.
Ooh.
Yeah, he can go down the hill, but stopping could be an issue.
Today is going to be incredibly entertaining. You have to stay with us for all of Kevin's skiing successes and failures.
In fact, we can't even talk to him right now because we've lost the signal. So he's gone skiing.
Well, because he's skiing.
That's right. So anyway, we'll tell you what the temperatures are going to warm up today.
They are, and we've got significant rain on the way, 5 to 15 millimeters through much of the GTA. Toronto kind of right on the cusp of the 15 to 20 millimeters. And this is going to be a big issue for localized flooding. Clear your storm drain if you can find it underneath all the ice, because once we see all of this rain, temperatures warming up to 5 degrees tomorrow, we're going to see a rapid melt. I mean, the freezing line is up towards Sault Ste. Marie, kind of stretching over to Timmins. Anything north of that is going to be snow, but through the Ottawa area and through Montreal, some freezing rain could be a bit of an issue. So if you do have travel plans, the 401 in that direction, 416, 417 could be very, very slick over the weekend. More on our weekend forecast in just a moment. But first, Tom, give us an update on what's going on. It's good if you like mild temperatures, but we do cool off significantly after this January thaw. We look at 5 degrees tomorrow, but rain on the way. Flooding can certainly be an issue. By Sunday, we're returning to sunshine and temperatures dropping to 0. By Monday, back up to 5. It's like a roller coaster, literally. And then by next week, we're back into the minus single digits, feeling a little colder with the wind. Anyway, all of all those details coming up in just a few moments. My name's Emily Vukovic. Thank you for joining us here at the Weather Network. Very slippery driving conditions again this morning. If you're just getting up and wiping the sleep out of your eyes and you're thinking, oh, it's going to be slippery again today. Yes, because we have a little bit more snow on the ground. A trough with a lot of cloud cover moving through our area, giving us some fairly decent snow amounts. When I say decent snow amounts, I'm talking like 2 to 4 centimeters, but decent enough to make roads treacherous today. So give yourself lots of extra travel time. Drive according to the conditions because it is slick. This kind of snow is perfect, however, for skiers. And Kevin Yard joins us at Chicopee Ski Resort in Kitchener. And Kevin, rumor has it, you're going to start skiing down the slopes any moment now. Hi, good morning. It's Friday. It's January the 10th. Thanks for joining us. Tom loves his Fridays.
Oh, love Friday.
And I know a lot of people are really excited about the warm-up, the January thaw happening this weekend, but it's short-lived. It's only going to last for a couple of days, and then we're going to be back into the freezer by next week.
But suck it up, because it's going to be nice. Just nice and milder temperatures. Oh, I'm looking forward to it, in spite of the rain.
Yeah, it's not like you're going to be outside tanning or anything.
Not exactly.
Umbrella needed. Kevin joins us at a perfect place to be today. He's at Chicopee Ski Resort in Kitchener. And Kevin, I know you're going to be hitting the slopes. I just tweeted out that it's going to be entertaining TV, to say the least. That's awesome, Kevin. Young man at heart, that's for sure. Okay, we've got snow, and this is going to add to the already impressive snow totals that are on the ground. We're looking at 30 plus through much of ski country. Areas further north, again, seeing tons of snow already on the ground, but a lot of it's going to melt this weekend. We've got rain on the way, and this is including cottage country up through Barrie and Aurelia, where they've seen already 50 centimeters of snow. This could also cause an issue for localized flooding and some pretty dense fog tomorrow morning, so keep that in mind. All right, we'll talk about your long-range, your weekend forecast in a moment, but first, here's Tom. All right, well, it is going to warm up. 5 degrees tomorrow, and then we go right back down. The roller coaster literally continues. 0 for Sunday. Monday, we're looking at 5 degrees, and then back to freezing single digits by next week, feeling even colder when you factor in the wind chill. Ontario. Because of the rain, we have a flood risk as our temperatures are rising. Not only because of the rising temperatures, but because of the rain. I know it's going to be a bit of a messy weekend. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. I'm Emily Vukovic. We've been talking about the January thaw. In fact, people all over Twitter have been talking about it. Hashtag January thaw at the Weather Network. We've been seeing snow for the better part of the morning hours. A lot of this is tapering off. It is moving out, but it is still a little on the cool side. It's slick underfoot and it is slick on the roads. And Tom Reynolds is going to be letting us know about what's happening on our major roadways. Winter comfort tips. Still a little on the cool side, so dress for it. Be comfortable and versatile in your clothing. Hats, mitts, that's certainly going to be something you want to think of today. It's still going to feel a little cold on exposed skin, but it's perfect for outdoor activities. And with that, we're going to check in with Kevin Yard. He's at Chicopee Ski Resort this morning. And Kevin, you are going to be having a good time today by the looks of it. It has been a temperature roller coaster throughout the lower Great Lakes these last few days. And today we're going to be talking about the cold, then we're going to talk about the January thaw, and then we're going to go back to the cold. We'll start things off with very chilly conditions and a great picture that I found on our website. In Ontario this week, if you have had enough of the cold and snow, please raise your hands. I love it. Our whole newsroom is lifting their arms right now. Because it's true, a lot of people are tired of this. Well, just in time, we've got the January thaw coming in this weekend. Milder temperatures above 5 degrees, melting snow causing ice jams, localized flooding, and rainfall amounts. We're looking generally anywhere between 5 to 15, even upwards of 25 millimeters throughout the lower Great Lakes. So rivers and streams are certainly going to be hazardous this weekend. Stay away from them and clear your storm drains if you can find them underneath the ice, because that'll really help when it comes to localized street flooding. Here's a look at the precipitation map. Now, most of us are going to be dealing with primarily just rain, but if you have travel plans through Ottawa or Montreal, freezing rain could certainly be a little bit of an issue tonight and into tomorrow morning. And then areas north of Elliott Lake, it's just about the Sioux all the way over towards Timmins, that's all going to be snow to the north of that. So rainfall amounts, again, we're looking at anywhere between 5 to 15 millimeters through much of cottage country. Toronto kind of right on the cusp of this. We're looking closer to 15 than 25, but still, that's certainly enough to cause some localized flooding. All right, back to the cold. It's time now for our top 5 videos. Days below 0 degrees. Turning things over to Tom Reynolds now for an update on traffic. Flood risk. As temperatures rise, we're going to see temperatures go above the freezing mark this weekend, and we've got quite a bit of rain on the way. That could present a problem. Clean your storm drains out if you can. Thanks for joining us on the Weather Network. I'm Emily Vukovic. We've been seeing some light snow this morning, causing a little bit of a hazard for motorists in and around the city, making roads a little slick. A couple of centimeters, that's all we need on already icy side streets, and, well, turning into a bit of a mess. Tom Reynolds is going to have more updates on our snow conditions and on the roads in just a few moments. We are going to check in with Kevin Yard. He's at Chicopee Ski Resort in Kitchener. And Kevin, are you out on the slopes yet? I keep waiting for you to start skiing. Are you skiing yet? Good morning. Thanks for joining us. It's Friday. It is January the 10th. We have been seeing some light snow throughout the GTA for the better part of your commute, causing some slippery road conditions.
Yeah, it's been a long week, hasn't it?
Yeah,
really, it has been cold
forever.
And nasty. And of course, we still have a fair bit of snow out there, and it's making things slick.
But this new snow is good for skiers.
Yes.
And Kevin Yard's joining us at Chicopee Ski Resort in Kitchener. And Kevin, the last time we saw you, you had your snow pants on, so I am assuming we are going to see you flying down the hill any moment.
Yeah, flying.
Oh, thanks, Kevin. When I meant, like, when we wanted to see you flying down the hill, we just you, not in the actual groomer. All right, here's that light snow that's contributing to the already impressive snowfall amounts on the ground. We're seeing 30-plus centimeters through Collingwood and through Barrie, and in some areas we're talking 50-plus. I mean, this is just as high as our legend goes to. We're actually seeing some significant amounts of snow, and further north as well. Now, anywhere north of the Sioux, more snow on the way for the weekend, but unfortunately, anything south of that, it's going to be all rain, and that could actually melt a lot of the snowpack that's already on the ground, cause for some slush and slippery driving conditions. Speaking of those, here's some. Warming up significantly. We're looking at 5 degrees tomorrow. Rain on the way, however, as I was showing you, about 15 to 25 millimeters throughout the GTA. By Sunday, we're looking at 0. So temperatures dip back down again, and then they rise. For Monday, we're going to see a daytime high of 5. Colder temperatures return by middle of next week. Winter, it's not. Good morning. It's Friday. It is January the 10th. Temperatures are on their way up. We've got rain on the way. That could be an issue for flooding this weekend, Tom.
Yeah, it's Friday, and that's all good. Yeah, and flooding could be a problem. That's right. If you don't have your ark built yet, you may want to start on one now.
Well, it's not going to be that bad. We're looking at 15 to 20 millimeters of rain. We have been dealing with a little bit of snow this morning, and that's perfect for skiing conditions.
Absolutely. Skiing is going to be absolutely pristine this weekend.
We've got Kevin Yard. He joins us up at Chicopee in Kitchener. And Kevin, we wanted to see you go down the slope, but I'm not sure if this is what we had in mind for you specifically.
You're just balanced. Hey!
That is awesome. What a great initiative. What a wonderful program for kids. That's awesome. Okay, well, we're going to be taking a look at the snow that's moving off towards the east. This is just contributing to what's already on the ground. We're looking at 30 plus centimeters through Collingwood and Barrie. Like, we're talking like 50, 60 centimeters in some of these areas. Sauble Beach, well, you saw in Force of Nature the extensive amount of snow all the way up to the top of a stop sign. Areas further north also have a great snowpack for skiers this weekend. The freezing line is going to be Sault Ste. Marie and north towards Timmins. Anything north of that is going to be straight snow, but we are going to be seeing rain throughout the GTA. Now, it's still cold enough that you will have to pay attention to dressing yourself in layers today. Comfortable, versatile clothing, perfect for outdoor activities like what Kevin was doing. It's still going to feel cold on exposed skin, so hat and gloves essential today. Rainfall forecast for the weekend. We'll talk about our temperatures in just a moment, but first, here's Tom. Rain, but warm. We're going to see a daytime high 5 tomorrow, dropping to 0 for Sunday. That's when the sun comes back out. For Monday, we go back up again, 5 degrees, showers in the forecast. And then by the middle of next week, we return to winter temperatures into the minus single digits. Hikes. Flood risk as temperatures rise and you throw 15 to 25 millimeters of rain on top of that could be an issue. Rivers and streams are going to be running high and fast this weekend, so just be very cautious if you're heading out. We are looking at a little bit of light snow throughout the GTA, but not much. A lot of it has tracked off towards our east, but it has been enough to make roads slick, and Tom Reynolds is going to have more updates on that for you. It has been enough to add to the already impressive snowpack throughout southern Ontario. 30 plus centimeters is a lot of snow on the ground for a lot of these places. In some areas, especially along the shores of Huron and Georgian Bay, 50 plus centimeters. Great news for skiers and boarders like Kevin Yard, who joins us at Chicopee Ski Resort in Kitchener this morning. They picked up about 3 centimeters overnight last night. Kevin, the conditions are perfect for what you are up to right now, aren't they? The flood risk is high as temperatures are rising, and we've got rain on the way for the weekend. All those details coming up in your long range. Thanks for joining us. I'm Emily Vukovic. We have been dealing with slick road conditions this morning, some light snow moving through the major roadways, but the good news is that it's off towards our east. Even more good news is that it's adding to the already significant snowpack throughout the lower Great Lakes. We're seeing 30 plus centimeters of snow already on the ground, and in some areas around, like, say, Collingwood and through Aurelia, we're talking 50 centimeters plus. And northern Ontario also seeing impressive snowpack amounts right now. Unfortunately, we do have some rainfall on the way for the weekend, and that could decrease some of these snowpack totals. We're looking at about 5 to 15 millimeters of rain, so localized flooding could be an issue. If you can clean out your storm drain, please do so if you can get to it by all the ice. All right, Kevin has been joining us all morning long. He's at Chicopee Ski Resort. He's heading up the chairlift with skis on. It's about time, Kevin. We'd like to see you ski down the hill. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. It's Friday. It is the 10th of January. Temperatures are on the way up.
Yes.
Rain is going to be on the way down. And Kevin Yard might be on the way down as well.
He's definitely on the way down.
No, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin's joining us at Chicopee Resort this morning, and this is in Kitchener, Ontario, where they have seen a little bit of snow over the last 24 hours. Now, Kevin, we just saw you kind of do a little snow plow down the hill. Is this one of your first time skiing, or have you done it before and just have not done it in a while, or are you secretly a pro and you're going to show us all sorts of moves in about 2 seconds?
Hill.
The hill is just beyond. Kevin, I love how he's like squatting with his poles out in the air. That's the best. Okay, well, a lot of the snow that we saw this morning, it's now tracked off towards our east, so we're done with that. We're dealing with cloud cover today. That snow did add a few centimeters to an already impressive snowpack throughout the area, so if you're skiing or boarding this afternoon, great conditions. If you are traveling further north to go skiing or boarding anywhere north of Sault Ste. Marie, is going to see a ton of snow over the weekend. Unfortunately, south of that, we do have quite a bit of rain in the forecast. 5 to 15 millimeters through much of cottage country, and then 15 to 25 millimeters south of the GTA. So in all, we're going to see a lot of runoff. We're going to see a lot of melting because temperatures getting up to about 5 degrees tomorrow. Clear your storm drains if you can. It's just going to be a slushy, slippery mess on the roads, isn't it, Tom?
Yeah, it is. And
all right, looking into the long range, we have got temperatures hitting 5 degrees tomorrow throughout Toronto. And then we drop back down to 0 for Sunday, but the sunshine returns. For Monday, we're looking at 5 degrees, a few isolated showers, and then by the middle of next week, we return to winter. Welcome back. It's not going to be as cold as it has been, but still, the chill is on, back into the minus single digits through southern Ontario. Good morning, I'm Emily Vukovic. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Weather Network. We've seen some light snow this morning, a few centimeters in and around the GTA. Perfect conditions for outdoor activities. We have seen so much snow in the last week or so through areas further north around the shores of Huron and Georgian Bay. Take a look at the snowpack through Sauble Beach. Impressive, isn't it? Look at those snowbanks. Huge. Huge. A lot of skiers and boarders are thrilled with this type of winter, though. We have seen 60 centimeters in some areas up near the Aurelia area. Snowpack, what's already on the ground, we're looking at 30 plus centimeters, not only around cottage country, but areas further north. Today, it's still going to be a little cool, so think about those winter comfort tips. You're still going to want to dress in layers. Adequate clothing involves mitts, hat. They're pretty much an essential today, but these conditions are absolutely perfect for outdoor activities. We're going to be checking in with Kevin Yard. He's up at Chicopee Resort in Kitchener, and he's been having a really good time on the ski hills this morning. Unfortunately, however, all of the snow must come to an end, and we've got rain on the way for the weekend. It's the January thaw. 5 to 15 millimeters of rain through cottage country, Toronto, 15 to 25 possibility. All right, well, let's go back to the cold for a moment. Take a look at your top 5 videos. The most days below 0 degrees. Well, we could say goodbye to the cold for at least a few days. We warm up to 5 degrees tomorrow, but we do have rain in the forecast and temperatures dip back down just in time to end the weekend.
This weather segment.
Flood risk as temperatures rise over the weekend, and then we've got rain on the way, and that's just going to add to the issue. We'll talk more about that coming up in your long-range forecast. Thanks for joining us here at the Weather Network. I'm Emily Vukovic. We have seen a little bit of light snow move through the GTA this morning. The good news is that it's on its way out. The bad news, it made for some slippery road conditions. We are talking about the January thaw. Temperatures are going to be rising significantly over the weekend. Not great for the snowpack that's already on the ground. A lot of the snow is going to melt, but what we have so far, we're looking at 30 plus centimeters already on the ground through most resort areas up towards Collingwood and in through Barrie and Aurelia. Tons of snow on the ground. And further north, we have a ton of snow. The freezing line this weekend is going to be around the Soo up towards Timmins. Anywhere south of that, we're going to see a little bit of mixing and then rain primarily throughout the weekend. So 5 to 15 millimeters in and around the GTA. Still a little bit on the cool side today. Winter comfort tips. Make sure you stay warm in comfortable and versatile clothing, perfect for outdoor activities. Cold on exposed skin and hat and gloves essential. Let's focus on the perfect for outdoor activities for a second. Kevin joins us at Chicopee Resort in Kitchener. And Kevin, I am glad to see that you are finally on a pair of skis.
Woo! Look out, everybody. Get out of the way.
Oh, no. I hope he remembers how to stop. All right, we're looking at 5 degrees tomorrow. We've got rain on the way. That's the January thaw we've been talking about. It's really going to cause a lot of runoff. So storm drains, if you can clean them because flooding could become an issue. Sunshine returns to top off the weekend on Sunday. And now for something completely different. Coming up, we'll tell you exactly what this is.